My face is peeling so bad. Um, the last day I was in Mexico, I fell asleep on the beach and got the worst burn ever, and my face swelled up. Like, it was so swollen. I didn't look like myself. I couldn't talk properly or laugh. Like, I was talking like this, and I couldn't lift my eyebrows. Like, it felt like I had Botox. Anyway, I look like a this is making me very uncomfortable. So I'm gonna try to do something about this and then I'll come back. But it's hard to put on, like, I can't really wear makeup because, like, even my eyelids got sunburnt. Okay, I'm trying out a new filming spot in my room because, yeah, so if you can see, my face is peeling. I can't fix it right now. And I can't cover that with makeup. It won't work. So, I have the sniffles, don't mind me. Okay, a lot happened, but I'll try not to make it too long. So I arrived in Cancun and I found a couch surfing host and he was so nice. He picked me up and we went over to, it was kind of weird. He like didn't smile or anything and I got like weird vibes and I was like, hey, this guy's, how does he have such good reviews on couch surfing? And then we get to his house and it's like all white and cold and bare and I'm like, this does not feel welcoming or homey at all. And he's like, I have a surprise for you. And I was like, oh, yay! And it was a bottle of Spanish beer that apparently some Montreal Canadians left the last time they were at his place and couch surfing. So thank God for that beer though. Things were a little awkward and then I was gonna go to bed and I was like, I want another beer. Like, I just arrived in Mexico, so Mexico, can't talk. So he took me to this, like, the Vegas of Cancun, and I was like, I'm not partying, like, I don't want to party, I'm 30 years old now, well, we're going to be 30, I don't do that anymore. So we went to, he's like, what are you looking for? I'm like, a chill bar, just like a pub, sit down, have a beer. And I was kind of bummed that he doesn't drink or do anything. So he was just sitting there sober watching me just inhale beers and he would like pay for my beers and I was like, no, you don't have to do that. And then we went to I was like, I want to go to the beach because I was so excited to finally be at the beach and I went to the beach. I couldn't really see it because it was dark. But I was wearing shorts and I was like, oh my God, I was like freaking out. I was like, I'm on the beach. And the moon was like upside down. It was weird. Like, it was a half moon, but upside down. And the couch surfing host that I was with thought that he saw UFOs flying around. And I was like, no, those are not UFOs. Those are satellites. But who knows? It was a weird night. Everything was fine until he started like touching me a little flirtatiously. Like he would put his hand on the small of my back or and always walk with like his hand on the small of my back. I'm like, oh my God, like we're not dating. And we ran into this couple on the side of on the sidewalk and they're like, oh my gosh, you guys look so cute together. I was like, oh, so awkward. And anyway, he didn't rate me, which was good. And I went right to bed. And the next day, I took a 2.5-hour bus down to Tulum, where I would stay in my hostel for like 7 nights. I'm gonna just try to go through the whole trip nice and quick. First night in Tulum, well, right away I like bonded with this girl named Paloma, and she's from California, but she speaks Spanish, and I was like, wow, this is like awesome, you can be my translator. But we like hit it off right away, it was pretty cool. And we like went down and had our welcome drinks at the hostel, and then we went out shopping. Didn't mean to, and I bought this like really nice skirt and top. And then we went out that night. I got pretty drunk. I was like on the prowl. yeah, and then I went to bed. Ooh. So I'm trying to recall the events in order, but it's really hard because of the concussion. Um, Surprise, I got a concussion. I think it was that night when we went out, and it wasn't because I was drunk that I got a concussion. I walked down the stairs of the hostel, and there was like a river of water on the hard ground, so it was like ice. And I just like slipped, my feet went in the air, and I went pash and smashed the back of my head on the hard ground in the hostel. And I remember like I was in so much pain, and I was like, I couldn't believe that the hostel didn't even like really care. I was like, I need to go to the hospital. Like, this is a concussion. And I didn't realize how serious it was until like, so I slept in the next day until like 3 p.m. and I was so bummed about like missing a day because my friends went to the cenotes and had a good day. But then that night, like I just had like a couple drinks, like nothing to get me drunk. And then I went to bed because I was feeling like shit and I had a migraine from the concussion. But that night, all night, like the second, so it's third night in Mexico, but second night in Tulum, I puked all night in a cup. All night, all the next morning. And like, it definitely wasn't from drinking because I didn't like really drink that night. So I was like, shit, this is from the concussion. And then we did some Googling, and apparently like vomiting after a concussion is like something like really serious. Like you need to seek medical attention. So I was freaking out, and my paramedic friend was like, that could mean you have internal bleeding. So I'm like, great, this is my last week on earth. You know what? I don't have travel insurance, so fuck it. I'm living my life. I'm gonna enjoy my 30th coming up. That's what I did. I'm at I think it was like the first night I was at the hostel in Tulum. I met my friend Dar and his girlfriend Amanda. The same day I met Paloma. And so us four were like all hanging out together, doing some things, going to some cenotes. So in total I went to like 4 cenotes. Oh my god, I haven't had any beach time. No beach time. On my last day, I just spent it solo, and I was like, I'm gonna have a beach day, the beach day I never had, and I fell asleep and burnt myself to a crisp. And I woke up and I was like, I think I'm burnt, but I can't tell. I biked back to the hostel, and I noticed my face was so red and so swollen. And I was like, fuck, I don't even feel like meeting new people tonight. Like, all my new friends are gone. Oh. So, like, I tried to cover it with makeup, but I, like, couldn't even talk. And I was, like, trying to drink some beer, and I was like, fuck this. And so I just went to bed. And that's, like, the whole week summed up really fast. I'm gonna try to pull out some funny stories or some like memorable moments. So let me just like think with this noggin. I still don't know if I need a CAT scan. I think it's time to reapply some moisturizer. Okay, so I look like I'm destroyed. Okay, memorable things that happened. Oh my god, the rope swing at the one cenote. I don't know why I was so scared. There's a video of it, and if I can get it off my friend Dar, I will show you guys. I was like, I didn't want to like move, and the guy just pushed me, and I was like, it's because anything that involves like falling into water, I like years and years ago I had like a cliff jumping accident. Like, well, I jumped off a bridge, but no one told me I was supposed to close my legs, and so like water shot up, and you know what happens then. And it was like pretty bad. I had blood like dripping down my legs, and all the little kids up in the bridge were like, Oh my gosh, she popped her cherry. Anything that involves like dropping into water, I'm like, holy shit. And then like at another cenote we were at, had like different platforms that went up higher to like cliff jump off of. And I started at the lowest one, I did it. I was like, whew, okay, let's go up a level. Like I can't live in fear even though I'm 30. Jumped off the next one, and then the next one was like even higher. It was like the highest I've jumped in the longest time, like since my accident. And I saw this little girl go, and I was like, okay, I can't live life in fear. No, I'm gonna have fun. I'm doing this. And I think my friend Dar caught this on camera too. And I just went for it, and I was like, I just like overcame my fear. I was so stoked. Remember I said that I chose this hostel because it said that there were like over 20 Australians staying? So me and Paloma were like looking, I'm like, where the are all these Australians? There's like no one I met was from Australia, not one dude. Where were they all? Were they just like all females and like hiding? Because I didn't even meet any Australian girls. So I was bummed. Oh, I just saw a cat. Yeah, so, but anyway, I was like, there was no cute guys at this hostel. Not one. And the only guy who was interested in me on my birthday was this really creepy guy from Sweden. And he bought me roses. And I was like, well, thanks. But like every cute guy I met was taken. And I was like, I give up on life. But yeah, all in all, oh yeah, my 20-hour layover. So I briefly mentioned in the last vlog that I was going to endure a 20-hour layover in Mexico City airport. And yes, that did happen. I remember I was exhausted and I was like, I need a place to sleep. And like I quickly checked couch surfing and it was like, oh, you can't book on the same day. And I was like, fuck. And then I looked into these like sleeping pods, which I couldn't afford anyway. I was like out of pesos and American money, and I wouldn't have been able to afford that anyway. So I was like, I whipped out my sleeping bag, found this little spot on this like fake grass, and I just tried to go to sleep with like one eye open. And I think I slept for like an hour, and then like at 4 a.m. I wake up and there's like 3 officers just staring at me. And they're like, Miss, wake up. I'm like, and they're like, blah, 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 in Spanish. And I'm like, no español. And they're like, sit. I'm like, sit? And they're like, sit. I'm like, ugh. And I like kind of shimmied and they're like, sit. And I was like, okay. So I sat and then I couldn't like stay sitting. So I like put my like neck thing around and I was like, fuck, this is terrible. Like, how am I gonna last all the way until my next flight without like any sleep? And these guys aren't letting me rest. Like, don't people rest in airports? It's a thing. What is the harm in laying down? Was it because I was like a tourist and I don't know. Like, I wasn't gonna cause any problems. Anyway, that was torture and I was so bored. I didn't know what to do. Okay, I do not like filming where I am right now because I'm actually kind of tanned with this like peelingness going on, but this window makes me look pale as fuck. Like, look, I swear I'm like kind of tanned. I don't know why I rubbed myself. It was super fun. I love traveling solo, and maybe I think because I have a lot to say about solo travel, I'll talk about it in another vlog and why solo travel is so great. Interesting neck. If you guys want to keep hearing my stories and watching my lame little vlogs. I swear they'll get better. Give me a thumbs up, hit the like button, and subscribe.